Thank you, Chairwoman Stabenow and the Ranking Member Bozeman, and for this important hearing. And thank you to our witnesses and Senator Bozeman. Thank you for bringing Harrison along. We've worked together for many years, and it's certainly good to see you at the end of the table, Harrison. It truly is important for us to examine foreign investments in U.S. agriculture, and American food security is obviously the national security issue that we all know that it is. And we need to make sure that our foreign adversaries don't have the influence over those agricultural systems, and that is really important in Mississippi, where agriculture is our #1 industry. I'm pleased that the state of Mississippi has convened a study committee on foreign purchases of farmland there, and we're simply missing some information when it comes to this topic. So I'm glad my home state is investigating this issue, and I'm glad that we're examining it today here at a federal level, too. And Madam Undersecretary Montano, as you know, several legislative proposals this Congress seeks to include the Secretary of Agriculture as part of the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States. And should this proposal become law, how do you envision USDA's participation on this committee?
Thank you, Senator. I just want to acknowledge that the role of CFIUS would not actually land within my mission area. It would land within the Office of Homeland Security within USDA. Having said that, I'll just repeat something that the Secretary had said earlier this week when he was asked this at the White House on a press briefing, and that he does acknowledge that it would be an important role for USDA to have a more robust role on CFIUS. With that implementation of it, it's not just the role of CFIUS, but it's also understanding the system to be able to report and to be able to gather the information. And not the AFIDA disclosure system, but understanding where deeds are registered about leases and how we're able to collaborate that information, and that information feeds in to better understand it. So some of the USDA role and then some of the systems roles within counties and states. And I do want to recognize your state of Mississippi for the work that they're taking on to better study this.
And you know, while I understand the Secretary is not a current member of the Committee of Foreign Investments, and you're saying it's falling under someone else, that the committee does flag certain cases to be reviewed by USDA, which falls under the responsibility of the USDA's Office of Homeland Security, obviously. However, the caseload is high while annual budgetary resources are rather limited, less than $1.4 million for the USDA Office of Homeland Security in the fiscal year of 2023 that we're in. What type of budgetary resources would USDA's Office of Homeland Security need to appropriately analyze all the cases in a timely manner?
Senator, thank you for the appreciation and the support for the staff that implement a lot of these programs and any of the resources that we need to move forward. The Office of Homeland Security is not under my purview, but if I can just make a general statement about impact of budget, we're all concerned about the appropriations and the cuts we have to have and what that means for stretching further resources. If it's okay with you, I'd like to take that back for the Office of Homeland Security to better provide a response on what the need would be for fiscal year 24.
Okay, and I have a little time left. Dr. Ortego, in your testimony, you mentioned China's investment in agribusinesses in other countries. And could you talk to us about China's investments in agricultural research and development and how the United States investment compares to that?
Senator, thank you for your question. This is what I would consider China's investments in agricultural research and technology one of the biggest threats to our food security. China, since 2011, became the largest funder of agricultural research and development, far surpassing the US and the European Union. They are currently spending 5 times more on research and development today than they were 2 decades ago. In comparison, here in the US, our spending and investment has fallen, and it's fallen by about a third over the last 2 decades. And it is close to about half of what China is spending, and their trajectory is upward. We are falling behind, and as you point this out, it's what I would consider to be one of the most serious threats to our food security is their level of investment.
Thank you for your answer, and my time is out. Harrison, you're off the hook.